Hello internet. So I've been looking up on the internet for a little while about what sort of video to film and I wasn't quite sure what to do. I was going to do the 50 facts about me tag, but I genuinely couldn't think of 50 facts like on the spot. So we've gone for 25. I've written them down just to remind me what I'm telling you. So yeah, I'm going to do 25 facts about me that you may or may not already know. If you know me, then you might already know some of the answers to these. So my favourite colour is green. It has been for quite a while now actually. It used to flip between a load of different colours. I mean, I loved orange for like ages and I liked yellow. But I love green. It's just quite a calming colour and I've always liked that colour. That and I love grey as well, but because I wear a lot of grey, but green is my favourite colour. My favourite actor is David Tennant. I've kind of made no secret of this, but I can't remember if I've actually mentioned it at any point on this channel, but I'm hoping I have. He's been my favourite actor now for like, you're pushing past 10 years now. I mean, I've had a crush on him since I was 13 and I'm now 23. So it's been quite a long time. It's been a fair bit of time. My Hogwarts house is actually Ravenclaw. In terms of like how I relate to that house, I feel like I relate to it the most out of the four of them. Although I would say I'm loyal like a Hufflepuff. So I'm like a Ravenpuff or a Huffleclaw or whatever. But Ravenclaws are creative, witty, unique, kind of wisdomous. I don't know, I wouldn't say I'm that intelligent, but you know. So that's kind of why I feel like I relate to that one more, mostly because of the creativity side of things. My best friend is called Andrea. She's not featured on this channel before, to my knowledge. I don't think I did a vlog with her. But she's been my best friend now for about 3 years, I think. And I don't normally have best friends. Like, best friends is something I don't actually like sort of believe in really, because I feel like I have a lot of close friends. But Andrea's been one of those people that I can kind of come to with a problem and she'll still make me feel better about it, even though I don't see her every day because she lives like miles away. She lives down south with her boyfriend or fiance, Michael, so I don't see her very much. I am absolutely terrified of frogs, clowns and the dark. The dark I've kind of conquered a little bit. I mean, like, I'm not mad keen on it, but I can cope with it. Clowns I'm actually scared of, and the new series of American Horror Story features clowns. So I'm kind of hoping that's not going to make me completely paralysed to the point where I don't want to watch it anymore because I'm going to be like petrified. So yeah, I'm not mad keen on clowns, and these whole killer clown things that were going around for ages, they were not my favourite. And frogs, I just don't like the unpredictability of them. It's just the jumping I'm not keen on. I love pictures of them, like cartoons. I can cope with them. But no, I'm not a frog person. We don't like the frogs. My favourite subject at school was history, and that may come as a surprise to a few people actually, because I do love my art and things like that, but my art teacher was a bit of a cow and made me feel really shit about myself, so I never kind of carried on with art after using school and stuff. But I've loved history for quite a long time. My aunt used to take us on like little adventures out to like the Herbert Art Gallery, which is in Coventry, the Coventry Cathedral, and we used to go to like historical places like castles and things, and they were really good fun, and she always made them really interesting. And then I've always loved history at school too, so history was always my favourite. My favourite book is a book called Before I Die. This was a toss-up between Before I Die and Secret Smile. And I've loved Secret Smile for quite a long time as well, but that's purely because it's like kind of David Tennant related, because he did a TV show called Secret Smile based on that book. But I love Before I Die. They did turn it into a film called Now Is Good, starring Dakota Fanning. The film is nowhere near as good as the book, personally. I just don't think the casting was right for the film. But I loved the book. It was like one of the first books that I properly read. I remember reading it actually on a cruise like back in 2009, so yeah, I do love that book. That's pretty cool. My most hated vegetable of all time is carrots. I think I've mentioned this in a video before. I can't stand them. I used to love them as a baby apparently, which I find really quite baffling because I hate them. So yeah, I will not eat carrots. I do not like carrots. My favourite thing that I've bought lately is actually this t-shirt, it says "Don't let the muggles get you down," which is a Harry Potter shirt. I got it from Primark for £6, I think it was anyway. It's my favourite thing just because I've been quite depressed lately, so I kind of feel like it's a oxymoron type show. It's kind of the opposite. Um, have you ever moved before? Yes, like a million times, like on several occasions. We've never really lived in a house for more than a couple of years, really. That tends to be the pattern. But I kind of broke that streak a little bit when I went to university and then moved home again, and we've been at this house now for about 5 years. We moved from Stafford to Coventry when I was like really little, and then we've moved all around Coventry to different places. My mum and dad split up, so we moved again, etc, etc, etc. And then I went off to university up in Leeds. I was up there for 3 years. I moved a couple of times whilst there because I had halls and then a house, and then I moved back to home, and then I moved from here again to Chesterfield, and then I moved from Chesterfield back here. So I've moved a lot of times. I think it's like bordering 20 or 25 odd like moves in total, something like that. It's something ridiculous. My favourite movie is actually The Great Gatsby, which is ironic because I made a video on this channel like years ago talking about how excited I was to go and see it, and I've seen it and it's my favourite film. I just love the music in it mostly. The music is like modern day music against the 1920s. It's awesome. I love it. It's my favourite. My height is actually 5'7". I'm quite tall for a girl, or so I'm told anyway. Most girls tend to sit a little bit shorter than me, but I'm 5'7". I'm quite happy. Cats or dogs? I've had both. I had a cat back up at university called Storm, who I miss quite a lot actually recently because I do love my little cat. I've always had dogs. We've always had dogs. We had Rusty. We had her for like ridiculously long time, and she passed away due to old age mostly. We'd had her, she was like 16 in dog years or something like that, I don't know. And then we've got Jake the dog, who is in the background somewhere, so you may see him. We've had dogs for most of our lives, so I'd say I was probably more of a dog person than I am a cat person, but it's just because we've had dogs more. And Cora's allergic to cats, so we're not really that keen on that one. Where would I want to go? I love theme parks, so I really want to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Orlando, Florida. And that's purely because I love theme parks. I've been to theme parks before. I mean, I love like Alton Towers, Drayton Manor, places like that. I've never been to Thorpe Park though. We did go to Disneyland Paris, but I would love to do the whole American theme park scene. It just looks awesome. A band that I love is Maroon 5. I have loved Maroon 5 for quite a long time. I'm not a big fan of the music they released like now, but back in the day when they did an album called Songs About Jane, that was my favourite album. I had that on repeat when I was in like year 7, so I was about 11. I remember we were going on a school trip to Germany, and on the way there and on the way back I listened to that on my MP3 player. So Maroon 5 is a pretty decent band. My starter Pokemon of choice. I had to think about this because everybody picks Charmander, and I feel like Charmander gets like loads of credit because he becomes Charizard in his like final stage, and I actually quite like Bulbasaur. I did a painting of Bulbasaur, and I did this painting of all the starters. But out of the 3 of them, I was most proud of the Bulbasaur one, so I'm going to pick Bulbasaur. He gets like underrated, and he's like the underdog, and I like him, so we're going to go with Bulbasaur. My first job was actually at an ice rink. It was really crap wage. It was like ridiculous, like low hours. I was 17 at the time. I was there for about 2 or 3 months before I then got offered a job over the road at a shop, which will remain unnamed, which sells Swedish meatballs. And it was for like double the pay and double the hours, and I left the ice rink. It was very cold. They wouldn't give me a fleece. I wasn't allowed to wear a fleece, which is ridiculous given I worked next to an ice patch, essentially. So yeah, I worked at an ice rink for 3 months as my first job. Hot drink of choice. If I'm going to a cafe, like Costa, 9 times out of 10 I will get a hot chocolate. It's rare if I don't. It depends on like the type of day. If it's a hot day, then maybe not. But I do love a good hot chocolate. Costa hot chocolate is one of the best hot chocolates ever. But if I'm not, I'm having a coffee. Like a good cup of coffee will get me good. I'm quite good with it. My caffeine in that respect anyway. The latest thing I watched on Netflix is actually something called Death Note, and it is based on an anime, so I'm told. but I really loved the series that they did. It stars Willem Dafoe and it's really good. It's about a boy who gets given this book called the Death Note, and if he writes someone's name in the book, that person dies essentially by the help of a death god called Ryuk, who is quite creepy looking and kind of resembles a porcupine. So he's pretty cool and he's played by Willem Dafoe. My love of theme parks, like I said before, I love theme parks. If I want to go somewhere, it'll be a place where there are theme parks. If I had a choice of going on a day out somewhere, I would love to go to a theme park because I do love my rides. I love roller coasters. I don't mind my thrill rides. It depends how nauseous I'm going to feel afterwards as to whether I will go on certain rides. But take me to a theme park, I'm happy. Like, just I love the whole thing about it. Although I don't like the queuing, but we live in Britain, queuing's a thing. Season of choice. I was talking to my friend about this the other day. His name is Michael. He's probably watching. He's probably sitting there with a silly grin on his face. So I've caught you out there. And I said that my favourite season is autumn, and it's because I love the changing colour of the leaves. Actually, I think the last video I posted was around autumn time last year, ironically. So yeah, I love autumn. I love the colour changing. You see loads of woodland animals. My favourite animal is a fox. That's just an extra. I'll add that as an extra one. That's my favourite animal. And you see more like woodland animals during the autumn. And you know, there's Halloween and stuff. It's a pretty cool time of year. What do I want to be when I was younger? Actually, for a long time I wanted to do something art related. I wanted to be like an artist. This is when I was like quite young. Because I loved art and everyone told me I was really good at it, and then I went to secondary school and got told I wasn't very good at it, and then I wondered why I never did it again. But now I picked it back up and I enjoy it again. So yeah, I wanted to be an artist for quite a long time. I think for a little while I wanted to be a bus driver, if I remember rightly, and for a little while I think I wanted to be a midwife because I wanted to be around babies. So yeah, other than that, that's what I think I wanted to be, was an artist. Number 23 is the fact that I would like children in my future. I've always wanted kids ever since I was little, and I've always wanted at least 2 children. I say that now because for ages it was just 2 children. Now I'm open to having more than 2 children. But I've never had a child before, so I don't know if that will soon change as soon as I have my first kid. And yes, I have names in mind for them, but that is for a separate video. 24, Velvet is the one thing I cannot stand. I know I said I have phobias, but Velvet is something else entirely. I can't stand the feel of it. The thought of it makes me feel sick. And my old housemates back in Leeds took the piss out of me for ages, saying that they'll just, one day, they're gonna like barricade my bedroom door with velvet and carrots to stop me from leaving the room. Because they knew I wouldn't go near it, so they were complete dicks, but it was quite funny. And number 25 is I am the biggest kid at Christmas. Like, I'm 23, but I'm still the one person that gets up at the crack of dawn and is so excited to go and open presents. Because I am a very big child. So that was my 25 facts about me. I'm sorry if it I rushed a little bit. I'm trying to kind of keep these videos a little bit shorter than normal, I think. Just because otherwise they take forever to upload mostly, and I upload them mostly from my phone now. So that's why on that part. Hit the like button if you liked it. I'm not expecting many likes. I don't upload often enough to get many likes. Leave a comment if you want. If you want me to do a part 2 to this, then great, let me know. I'll happily try and sit and do some more of that. We'll see if I can spark some imagination, and try and do this video yourself if you want to. I mean, like, you know, you don't have to use the questions I used, but feel free if you want to. And hello, Michael. I know you probably sat watching with a silly grin on your face, but I wanted to say hello and that I miss you very much and that you're lovely. So I will see you all soon at some point, possibly in the future. I don't know when. And I'm gonna go watch some Netflix. See you later. Bye.